Nope, nada.
This is funny. This is just too funny. It's not putting it on. It's using our old show. Let's talk about glue.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Go back to the YouTube channel itself, and you'll see it. It's posted in the let's talk.
Well, I see Hurricane Report and show update on when I click on the channel itself. Let me do that again. I'm going to the channel. I'm going to your homepage. The notify is there. Oh, wait, we're live somewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link.
Yeah.
Since that's the one you got to go. Hold on.
All right. So obviously I'm going to have to can YouTube because our restream is just, it's giving me so many problems. I can just broadcast live from this. I don't need restream. So something's obviously amiss.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Please go here.
Yes.
I hope that's the right one I'm putting in there too.
Yep, that's the right one.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, Chris Nealon has shown up. So
yeah, I see Chris. Yes. Let's see. I see
Robert
let me get my magnifying glass.
Brooks Martin.
I see Chris. I see Robert Crow. I see
it's Romper Room.
I saw, yeah. I guess this side's better. Oh, you're welcome. There's Len from Len's Handcrafting. Jim Bashirs. Hello.
oh my goodness, he's out there in the chat.
Well,
I'm really worried about.
It's all month, Chris. It's all month. Aussie Man's here. Good day. There we go. Posted it again. Rick St. Louis is here. Hello. You're welcome, Brooks. Brooks says, good to see you, Russ. Heard you had no power. Bonsoir, Michel Marcoux.
Yes, for you, I'll repeat this in just a little bit before y'all come in. And I've had enough of Restream. So it's just every time we have a show, it seems like it's showing the one from the glue. You remember how it was showing Brenda's thing, and now it's showing the one with glue, and I've got the right thing in here. I'll show you. Let me take a picture.
Picture. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. That's hard to do, guys.
Yeah, if you look at what's on there, it says Hurricane Report. And that's where Restream is supposed to be broadcasting to on the Simply Wooden Creations channel. So why it's coming out as the last week's glue, I have no idea. And notice this little thing up here. It's telling me that I have my limit reached. That
that means that he's got cut off. His limit was reached.
He reached
and he's
his limit.
gone, folks.
It's
Paul,
the Paul
we're
and
nearing
show.
world domination now.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
That's right.
where do you want to?
What do you want to take over next?
Oh
Al?
man, he came back.
I didn't do anything. I swear, I didn't touch anything.
It was me more.
Anyway, if you'll notice this little thing up here saying my limit is reached. In other words, they're saying that I can't broadcast to or what is that, Facebook? Yes, I can't broadcast to Facebook. My limit is reached. I pay for 5. I can have up to 5 channels I can broadcast to. I'm only broadcasting. Oops, wrong one. Here, let me get out of pictures and go back and do it again. I'm only broadcasting to. Hey, why did it mess up like this? Okay,
Hello,
I have
Big
no
Owner.
idea.
Just filling in some dead time in between.
I'm only broadcasting to Twitch and to YouTube, and it won't let me broadcast to Facebook because it says my limit is reached, but I'm paying for 5. So yeah, Restream. I'm fixing to make a phone call, and
I bet it'd catch you a sweet deal if you went to them and you complained.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting crazy. Here, let me get a better picture so I can actually send it to them. Yeah, this is just absolutely, and the chat won't work either. I can't get the chat to work. So I don't know. But anyway, welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I'm glad that y'all moved over to the other channel and found us. I'm glad of that. Wow, I'm very fuzzy.
Russ, we have a whole 2 people on Twitch. Thanks, folks, for being out there.
Okay, thank you for being over there. Unfortunately, I can't see your.
I think Dave Hart is one of them, and Chris Nealon is another one, and Valentina Alcazar. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out or anything. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Let me try one more time to open up Restream chat. And I know this is the last thing everybody wants to hear when we started the show was about the problems, but yeah, Restream is just getting to the point that it's getting very annoying and it's not working. I don't know what's going on with it. I have no clue. So, but thank y'all for all being out there. I appreciate it very, very much. This is an informal kind of show. Just to let everybody know, Jim Bashir you said he was out in the chat.
Yeah, I saw him out there. Yeah.
Jim Bashir is in the hospital. He could use your prayers. He went in for some surgery, and it didn't go quite as expected, and now he's having some complications. And the last time I heard him post, I think he has to go back in. They're going to have to go back in for surgery. So, yeah, he can use your thoughts and prayers, and catch him over there on Facebook and tell him how much you love him and care about him, because he's a very important part of this show. He's been on for years, and I'm really worried about him. So, and now the Restream chat's starting to work. This is just too funny. If it wasn't so funny, I'd cry, so to speak. So yeah, it's starting to work now. But yeah. So I'm very concerned about Mr. Jim Bashir's. Chris Ahern still has no internet. He got power back, but he still has no internet. So that's the reason he's not on that. Actually, I think the last time you talked to him, Al, he was at Tiki Bar, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was at Tiki Bar.
Yeah, he was posting pictures at the Tiki Bar. So I'm glad he's having fun. He got back, or when he got back, they had no power, no internet, but for the most part, his shop is intact. Everything was intact. If you haven't read his post, he had one broken window, and apparently it had to be from the pressure change because they have steel shutters, and the steel shutter was up. So there's no way nothing could have got through to break the window. So that's amazing that the pressure change could be that much inside or outside the house that it actually broke the window. And I think he said at one corner of the house it took down part of the gutter or hit the corner of the house, but it didn't involve the interior. In other words, it was just on the outside of the house. So that's very good news. His shop's intact. His tools are okay.
The beer fridge is okay too. That's
the beer fridge is okay. His beer was okay. So yeah. Leonard Davis, I believe, he said, I think Chris has spent the last 2 weeks at the Tiki Bar. To be honest with you, I think when they went over to Fort Lauderdale, they left and went to Fort Lauderdale, the other side of the state at the bottom. They just used Alligator Alley. It's a straight shot over. And they stayed over there on the other side of Fort Lauderdale. If you don't know, Florida is north of Miami. And they stayed there the whole time for the hurricane. So, yes, Jim, Dave Hart, yeah, prayers for Jim Bashir's. Yeah, he can use them. So our home, no damage to the home. We had tons and tons of tree debris because I don't know, about 6 or 8 trees in my yard. And so we just had tons and tons of tree debris that I'm still cleaning up. Matter of fact, I've got pretty much the front and the backyard cleaned. I still have to blow the roof off, and I'm going to do that first thing Monday morning because we got a 20% chance of rain. We've had no rain since the hurricane. Since Thursday after the hurricane passed, we've had no rain whatsoever. Been beautiful, almost fall-like days, every 60s in the nights. Just beautiful, beautiful sunshine during the day, low 80s. It's no humidity. Been actually, it kind of like it couldn't kind of a flood like in Noah's day and then turn out more beautiful than it did afterwards. So it's like, but I've spent a lot of time cleaning up the yard and doing that kind of stuff. But my roof still has a lot of leaves and stuff on it. And I got to get it done Monday morning because we got a 20% chance of rain Monday afternoon. So I got to get the roof blown off because that stuff's nice and dry. It'll blow off easy. And I don't want it to get wet again. So that's my first thing to do Monday morning. But praise God, our home survived. All of our children's home survived. Now, a lot of us have been out without power. We were without power for 6 days. My daughter Ashley was out power for 10 days. We were on generator power 24 hours a day for 6 days. So I said, that's the generator that could. Boy, he just kept right on chugging along. The only time that generator got shut off was to change or add fuel. And it got fired right back up and kept on running. So it kept we had our window unit. I'd put in the window, and it kept the window unit running, the refrigerator running, lights. We actually were able to run the TV and watch DVDs to entertain us. And so that went well. If anything positively could happen, and I haven't told this is the first time I'm announcing this. I thought one thing I told Paul and Al before the show, if anything probably could happen, it did happen during the hurricane and just before the hurricane. First, while my brother, let me hook the battery up. I moved the computer to let my kids play the game, and it's telling me it's going to die.
Okay. Again, Paul, we have a chance at world domination.
We do. We've been waiting for years for this opportunity.
Did you send the kids money so that they could unplug the laptop? That was the plan.
That was the plan?
Yeah, you were going to send 20, and I was going to send them 20.
I thought he was going to send us 20.
Gee, I don't remember now.
I
thought it was the other way around.
I said, I can go in the other room for a while. Leave y'all alone. So Saturday, I think it was, yes, Saturday, before the hurricane hit, we were getting prepared and doing a lot of stuff. Well, y'all know, I've told y'all I'm turning the trailer into. I noticed my sponsor video is not even working, and I've tried twice to get it to open. So nothing's working tonight.
And hello to Frenzy Wicked Truth out there. Brooks, shields are always up, man. Always. It's always a condition red on the
Yes.
fridge.
We've got so many people that always hear every Saturday, and I tell you, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you something that you're going to not like here in a little bit. And I'm not quitting the show. I'll just go ahead and tell you, now that I've brought it up, repeat. There will be no show next Saturday. Sorry. I did not know the hurricane was going to come and cause all the turmoil, and so we missed last Saturday's show. That's the reason I wanted to come on tonight, just to give you a brief explanation. I thought it was better you heard it from the horse's mouth than it was just to post it. But my daughter Ashley is her third annual Halloween bash. It's for the family. We have probably 30 people plus show up for the Halloween bash. There's hay rides, there's candy to give away, there's things the kids do. I mean, we have a great time with our entire combined families. I mean, from everybody, from aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody shows up, 30, 40 people, and have a great time. Bring the kids have a great, we did trunk or treat last year, and where everybody decorated their trunks, and the kids come by and we gave them candy and everything, and really great. So I'm not missing that. And we had thought we were going to have to postpone it because she didn't have power up until 10 days later. I think she got it Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, and we had power last week. So she went like a long time, but she is going to have it. And so we're going. So I'm sorry. We're going to miss next Saturday too. So, like I said, I would love to have the show, but family is very important, and especially right now after the hurricane, I think it's good that we all get together and have some fun instead of so much tension and stress that we've went through for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, Jim Bashirs is posting. He said he had colon surgery. He's getting bleeding, so they're going to wait till Monday now to see if it stops. Otherwise, I'll have to go back in. The way he posted today was that they were going back in. Here's Donna. I'll let Donna in.
Oh,
They were going back.
Hey, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Hey, I'm trying to.
So just hang in there with me. Give me another week, and we'll be back after the Halloween bash, which is the 15th. We'll be back, and I'll give me a ton of time to try to find somebody. We might have just Donna come on and talk about her sewing machines and stuff. I know we can.
Donna, what sound like?
Machines. I'm bad at sewing.
What?
Well, embroidery machines. What you're using? You want to do that?
I can.
And the people ask you questions about it and everything.
Mm-hmm. I can't show it because I have to widen my door so I can bring it inside. And so until I do that, it's out in my shop.
Yeah,
outside.
Yeah, I understand. But you can take some pictures and show the pictures of the machine and stuff.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Or video.
Or video. Yeah, we can share. We can share the screen. But yeah, all right. So we're planning on that. Let's do that. All right. That'll give you plenty of time. Today is the 8th. We're not going to be on the 15th. So Donna, you're going to be on the 22nd. So it'll actually give you 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, that'll work because I'm not going to Biloxi until the 27th, 28th. So we're good.
Okay. That'll work perfect. So Donna's going to be on the 22nd to talk about her embroidery and her embroidery machine. So that's great. Oh, okay. So, so we're having the Halloween bash. Sorry. I understand y'all are upset. A lot of people, Aussie Man tells me, he said he looks forward to this on Saturday. So when I don't have it, he's like bored because he has nothing to do. And several other people told me that. So we're entertaining to them, and I'm glad. So let's go back to the start Saturday. So I had, I told you I was redoing the camper. Well, I had some of that old plywood just leaning up against a tree. I was planning on cutting it up and burning it. We have a fire pit out back, and I was just going to burn some at a time, until I got it all rid of it. and we can burn wood in a fire pit. It's not illegal to burn it because that's just plywood. So my son was helping me laying it down flat. We were going to take concrete blocks and put all over the top of it to help hold it down. I figure it's much harder to blow away on the ground than it would be leaning up against the tree. Lo and behold, I left one screw that was the 3/4 inch plywood. It's 3/4 inch plywood. The screws are 2 1/4 inches. So that means 1 1/4 inches or more is sticking out of the wood, good that much amount. Well, guess who stepped on it?
Ooh, your son.
Oh, yeah. I know, I did. And it went right in my heel of all places.
Ooh.
And it went very, very deep.
Ooh, I can feel it.
Did you say any nasty words?
Actually, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't. I held, I held my tongue. I didn't. My son looked at me. He says, "Dad," because he's seen exactly when it happened. And he yelled, "Dad." And I'm like, it's too late. I done stepped on it and it's gone through. It actually put a hole in my sock the size of a pencil lead, or the size of a pencil, not the lead, the size of a pencil. Yeah.
Did you have your safety shoes on?
No. Didn't have safety. There ain't no safety shoes. There's no safety shoes that have steel in the foot part. They're all on the toe.
Oh, yes, there are.
I've never heard of them.
Yes, there are.
I know our fire boots had metal plates and they were bound in the middle so that they could bend with your foot. But I didn't know they had shoes that actually had metal on. Well, anyway, I wasn't wearing those, and so I couldn't hardly walk for 3 days. I mean,
Paul's going to find it. Paul's looking it up.
I didn't know, but I'm going to have to look into that. But it went very, very deep in my heel, and so I pulled it off and said, "What are we going to do? What are you going to do?" And I said, "We're going to keep on laying this plywood down. I ain't got time to stop. The hurricane's coming." So I continued to work for the next 2.5 hours. There was blood in my shoe and my sock when I got back in the house. I didn't stop, didn't even hesitate. We just kept right on going. So we finally finished. I came back in the house. I took my shoe off. My wife saw my foot and she was like, "Oh my goodness." And, like I said, there was blood in my shoe and sock. And so I couldn't hardly walk. Sunday was not too bad because we had everything going. I needed to go get some more fuel. I got some more fuel. Steel shank, Frenzy Wicked Truth said there's steel shanks and steel-toed boots. Well, here's my point. My daughter said they're going to get plastic bubble wrap and just put me in it because every time I get turned around,
will pop the bubble.
Yeah. Somebody out there saying about there being safety Crocs. You might want to look into those.
Safety Crocs? Never heard of them.
I know that Skechers makes a pair of shoes that they claim you can step on a nail and it won't go through it.
Yeah. The fire department boots that I wore for the fire department had steel toes and steel plates in the bottom. Like I said, in the middle of your foot where your heel and your, your arch, there's a steel, they were locked in where they would bend so you could bend your foot. And they actually were rated where you could jump off of a 6-foot ladder onto a 16 common nail and the nail would not penetrate the boot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder who tried that one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't me. I wasn't going to try it. So I still had some things to do Sunday, which I hobbled around and got done. Finally, we were ready for the hurricane. That was the first thing. So Monday morning, I woke up and I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling really bad. My Apple Watch actually went off and let me know that my pulse was like over 100. And I told my wife, I said, "I'm not feeling good." I have a little blood pressure machine. The blood pressure machine kept on coming up in error. It would not take my blood pressure. So I said, "All right, I'm going to go to the walk-in clinic because my doctor, it's hard to get into him sometimes, especially something that quick. I just go to the Watson Clinic, walk-in clinic." So I went to the Watson Clinic, walk-in clinic. They get me in, they go back. The nurse takes my pulse and my blood pressure. She says, I'll be back in 1 second. She leaves. Within a minute or two, the doctor walks in and said, Mr. Clarity, there's really nothing for us to do here. You need to go to the hospital. And she says, actually, we need to call you an ambulance. And I said, no, I don't want to go. And my pulse or my blood pressure was like 182 over like 106, 108. Actually, my blood pressure and my pulse were almost equal. My pulse was like 108. My blood pressure was like 108. But anyway, there was a hospital within 10 minutes of where I was at. And I said, no, I'll just drive myself to that hospital. She said, you really don't need to. But I said, no, I'm going to just drive myself to the hospital. So I drove to the ER. They immediately took me back, and they started an IV on me. They did it. Actually, first they did a 12-lead EKG, and the cardiologist looked at it and said, your heart's perfect. It's just racing like hell. And she came back in. She goes, we're going to give you like 25 milligrams. I told them I have panic attacks, and I do have Xanax. I had taken a Xanax that morning because I knew I wasn't feeling good, and I figured I was having a panic attack. Xanax didn't even dent it. And those are 5 milligram tablets. I can take up to 2, but I was worried about taking the second one. So I just went to the ER or the doctor, and then they sent me to the ER. Anyway, she gave me a 25 milligrams of Valium to calm my butt down. So I was having the panic attack from hell that morning. That's one of the worst ones I've ever had. It didn't take long for the Valium took over and started calming me down and everything. She said that the doctor came in and said, look, I don't want to admit you. They did. Actually, she did. She says, I'm going to do full blown lab work on you also, not only the 12 lead to see if there's anything in your blood system, anything wrong. Later on, she come back and said, your blood is fine. Your hemoglobin, your liver functions, everything came back normal. Everything's good. You're great. It's just, you had a panic attack that just wasn't letting go. And so she says, I want to keep you all day in the emergency room. I don't want to admit you. But to make sure that once this Valium starts wearing off, that it don't happen again, in other words. So I got there at 8:30. I got there, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and she didn't release me until 4 o'clock that afternoon. I spent in the ER. And then she sent me home with some Valium. She said, use the Valium for the next 5 days, especially since the hurricane's coming. Sometime you can build up a tolerance to Xanax. And she says, just use the Valium for the next 5 days. She says, and I want you to take it. She disappears on us.
Yeah, she's just kind of,
Yeah, she's in that position that she's like in and out.
Transporting in and out there.
Yeah, she said, with the hurricane coming, I want you to take the Valium. She goes, I want you to take it every day for the next 5 days. To make sure you stay calm until after this hurricane passes. It was just from the anxiety. I know the hurricane's coming. I know there's nothing I can do. I do pray and I trust God, but it just hit me. You got to realize we have 7 children, 16 grandchildren, and 4 great grandchildren, and all of them will live within 10 to 12 miles of me. Some of them being closer than that, some within 3 to 5 miles. So if it affects me in my house, it affects them very much so, matter of fact. So I guess just the tension from all the stress from worrying about everybody and everything, it just let go on Monday morning, and it went out of control. So, but after I got home that afternoon, the Valium worked. I took it for 5 days. I haven't had a panic attack since, so I'm doing very good.
Here's the thing, Al, since you're the patriarch, they're supposed to worry about you.
Yeah.
Not Al. What's his name?
Oh, did I say Al?
Yes.
Oh, I meant Russ. Since you're the patriarch, they're supposed to worry about you.
I understand. And they all were. My son that lives in North Lakeland, he didn't go without power or water. He had power and water through the whole hurricane. He begged me and my wife to come and stay with him, but we said no. We're tired of, we did it during Irma, I think it was in 2017, we went to his house and it didn't do anything to my house. And I'm like, nope, we're waiting this one out. Just to let you know, I'm not going to call him an amateur or whatever, but the lady had a very hard time hitting my veins. This is on my arm, by the way. You can still see it right there. But this is on my arm. They blew a vein on my arm. And then she turned around, and this is on my forearm right here. And then they blew the vein on top of my forearm, trying to get the IV in me. They finally got it in my hand. And I told her, I said, why don't you just go for the hand? Those veins are nice and poppy, you know, they're good. Go for my hand. She goes, well, a lot of people don't like it in the hand because you can't. I said, I'd rather you get it in the hand than keep on poking me. I mean, it's like.
That's what I tell at my doctor's office too. If I have to give blood, they'll say, all right, put your arm out. I'm like, get my hand. You can see all them other ones, they roll, they're further back. And I'm like, no.
Okay, I want to show you something. This is the next morning. Now, I have a metal thing, a frame, and it has like a tarp over it that covers my boat to keep, you know, stuff out of my boat. And I'd replaced the tarp over it. I have to replace the tarp over it like twice a year. I want to get a permanent thing for my boat, and I'm going to. But so I had just put a brand new tarp on that thing, and so. When the hurricane was coming, I said, it's going to shred this thing to pieces. I took it off to protect it and just left the boat open. I mean, the boat, it's a boat. It can take water. It's not like it's going to kill it. I just try to keep it out of the sun and try to keep we have a lot of trees, try to keep a lot of debris out of it. So anyway, so the next morning we woke up. This is my wife's Camaro.
I thought the boat was on top of the Camaro, by the way, when I first saw that.
Yeah, when I posted the picture. But this is my wife's Camaro. It was literally covered in 6 to 8 inches of debris.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're talking about it was moss, little sticks and leaves. And I have never seen, we've had a few hurricanes here. It was literally had sand all over it. And I went to my truck. My truck I put my truck out in the front yard, kind of away from the trees. My truck had whenever it dried out, when I looked in the bed, my truck had literally sand all in the bed. I mean, it literally blew so hard that it was picking sand up off the ground and blowing it places.
That's why I don't live in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, literally sand. Dan Inge says panic attacks suck. Been there, done that. Yeah, it does. That one was and excuse my French, but that was the panic attack from hell. Let me tell you.
So, Russ, if someone wanted to get a guest for the show, would they email Russ at simplywoodencreations.com?
Yes.
So
Russ at Simply Wooden Creations.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Before I put it out there.
Yeah, just Russ at Simply Wooden Creations. Or PM me over on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Or if you're on Facebook, send me a friend request. And we can do it that way. And we'd love to have you, somebody that's out there as a guest that wants to. Yes, we'd love to have you. But literally sand. I mean, Irma didn't do that. I mean, so what we did on my wife's car, I said, we're going to keep this 30 minutes. How are we going? Oh, we're past the 30 minutes. All right. I'm on the clock for I'll give you 5 more minutes and then I'm out of here. So, so what we did on her car was we literally hand picked all the crap off of it to keep it from scratching the paint. And then I have a very big blower. I blew it off as good as I could. Then she backed it up and we took the water hose and I put it on like jet stream and she rinsed it off really, really, really good. And I said, let's let it dry so we can see if we got most of the sand off, because we don't want to wash it with the sand on it because you're just going to scrub the sand and scratch the paint. So she rinsed it really, really, really good. And we let it dry and come back out and it looked great as far as no sand or whatever. So we washed it by hand with rags, rather no brush or nothing. We washed it by hand. So as far as we can tell, we've had it in the sun and looking at it and everything, it did not damage the paint. She got by lucky. Yeah, I thought we were going to see just tons and tons of scratches, and she was going to have to file an insurance claim. But it didn't damage the paint. She was worried at one point because when we woke up that morning, went out there was a lot of fog on the window, and she thought there was water inside the car. So once we got all the stuff off and cleaned, we opened the door. There was no water inside the car. It was just from the temperature change. It was so hot before the hurricane that the car was still kind of warm, and it was cool outside. So, on mornings like when you get in your car and you have to turn on the defroster, that's what it was. It was just the humidity caused that fog on the windshields and stuff. So she was worried about it, but there absolutely no water damage to her car. Absolutely no damage to my truck. My truck had stuff on it, but not like her car. And then we had tons and tons. I have been working literally since the hurricane cleaning up our yard. That's how much tree debris there is, because I can't spend a lot of time out there. And I mean, I can spend time out there, but I am getting to the age that I get tired. So I'm working some on it, some every day. So all of our children are fine. 2 of them had some trees. My trees actually blocking their driveway. Ashley, where we're having the Halloween party, they had a tree blocking their entrance to their house. So they had to get that cut out. And they literally had trees blocking the road. They had to get the trees cut off the road so they could get out and about. So that was it for me. I know none of y'all had to go through the hurricane, but we did good. I mean, we did well. I laid in bed that night. I have a pocket size Bible. I held it in my hand and prayed all night that God would protect myself and our family, and He did. We all come through with flying colors. So I'm grateful for that. So very grateful. But anyway, I just want to come on tonight and tell you about that. Chris, his house, like I said, is perfect. He just he's got power, but he don't have any internet, and he's able to act. He's back home now. He's doing good. Once again, pray for Jim Bashir's, that everything will be all right with him. He won't have to have surgery. He said he was still kind of bleeding, so that I hope the bleeding stops and he don't have to have surgery again. That would work for me, and I know it'd work for him. So, but yeah, so that was it. Just wanted to come on. Sorry once again that we're not having a show next week, but the family really needs this get together and to let off a little tension and pressure. I think it'll be good for all of us. We're going to have a good time. So I'll try to do a Facebook thing from there. And see if I can do something live just to show. Just real quick, I did a Santa gig today. It's fall, I know. I call it woodworking Santa. Nancy said it looked like the lumberjack Santa because of the plaid shirt.
That's what I call it, because he's got the same lumberjack shirt that I've got. Yep.
So this is the Lakeland Woodworking Club. They did a demonstration. They had scroll saw work and bandsaw boxes and all kind of stuff. These are my friends. I belong to the club. These are my friends. Actually, the guy back there behind the table is the president of the Woodworking Club, George Hatch. And then that's Rick Girth. He turns pins on a little mini lathe. That's George Hatch's granddaughter. And then this was just that's a picture of people that were there buying wood. And another picture. This is not like your Home Depot or Lowe's. This is all board. They sell it by the board foot. It's all rough cut. And they sell it by the board foot, not lineal foot, board foot. A lady asked me, "What's a board foot?" And I said, a board foot is determined by the thickness, the width, and the length of what you're buying. It uses all 3 of those to calculate what a board foot is. So, and she was like, "Oh," she says, "Will you continue? Tell me how much that board would be." And I went like, "No, ma'am, you need to ask one of the people that work here."
Woodworking knowledge, folks. Woodworking knowledge.
Yeah, I do have. I have a board foot calculator on my phone. I put one on there, so when I go to buy wood from them, I can tell what that piece is going to cost me. So, but they're very. Carla and her husband Brian are very wonderful people. They wanted me to be Santa, woodworking Santa, and I did. I was there from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock today. Had a great time. So thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Donna and Paul and Al, for joining me. Once again, sorry we won't be here next week. I hope you understand. But on the 22nd, Donna will be on here to talk about embroidery and her machines. She said the machines aren't there where she's at, but I told her to take pictures of some of the stuff so we can see the embroidery machine. And I think you've got a few videos out on like threading the needles and stuff like that on.
Well, it's actually amazing the different things you can make on an embroidery machine. I mean,
Yeah.
a dress, a quilt. I mean, making the whole thing, not just embroider on something.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So we'll talk about that. Yep, on the 22nd. So Don will be here the 22nd and we'll be back. So thank y'all once again. Hey, thank all y'all for being out here. Sorry about the problems that have to change, and the restream is just not working right. I'm going to have a conversation with them, but I have a feeling I'm just going to cut the restream out and just stream straight from on YouTube and just forget it. Forget the Twitch and the I know we have people that are on Twitch on occasion and watch us on Facebook, but it's not worth the hassle. This is like the third or fourth time that it's not me. It's the program. I've got everything set up right. Last time it kept on showing the thing with Brenda, and I ended up having to totally delete the connection to YouTube and reinstalled it, and it worked for one show. And now it's back doing the same thing. This time it's the glue, showing up the glue thing. So it's like, geez, really? So, all right. But good night. Thank y'all all. Listen, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop, you're just too darn busy. I know that everybody's going to say, you got to sing the thing, so I'm going to sing it. So just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back on the 22nd and be with us and be with Donna showing us about embroidery. Good night, everybody. Thanks again for watching. God bless. Oh, I gotta find the button that says end broadcast.
Yeah, but
you
leave.
Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Oh yeah, what he said.